Hello and welcome to my market update. Today we have back with us Maria Caprito, a local estate planning attorney that's been practicing here now over 21 years to answer some questions really in regards to trusts. And today, Maria, we really want to talk about, I guess, the benefit of having a trust. Who's the best person and why should they even have a trust set up?
Generally, I encourage people to create a trust for a couple reasons. One is it avoids the probate, which is a timely process that can take 6 or 8 months to pass the assets to the beneficiaries of your estate. Secondarily, the reason why you want to create a trust is if you become incapacitated during your lifetime, your successor trustee steps into your shoes and can manage your financial assets without court interference.
Okay.
And so those are the main reasons to create a trust.
Okay. Now, is there also any type of monetary savings, would you say, in terms of a trust versus not having a trust? Would there be a benefit on that end of it if you have to, sell, for the heirs' benefit?
Well, the probate fees are statutory, which means that the probate code tells everyone this is how much the attorney gets paid. Not only the attorney, but the executor or administrator of your will gets paid the exact same amount.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
So the fees in connection with a trust could be much less.
Okay.
Just depends on the size of your estate and how much is being subject to probate. So
Okay.
it could be a cost savings to the estate.
Okay, so it could save you that money. And then as far as other things to consider when you are setting up a trust, are the things that, 3 or 4 things that really are kind of you have to be mindful when you're setting up a trust?
Well, you have to think about it. The most important decision you make, besides where you want your assets to go when you die, but a lot of people, that's not sometimes that is the most difficult decision,
Right.
but the most difficult decision people have is who they are going to select to be their successor trustee.
Okay.
And you really have to select someone that you can trust and will follow your wishes.
Okay.
A lot of times people try to put in co-trustees, and that just more often than not just leads to problems because the people end up not getting along, whether it be siblings or your 2 children, whatever the case may be. I think you're better off just having one trustee at a time act, and there's always mechanisms in place that you can have someone removed for cause or whatever the case may be, but the most important thing is to pick a successor trustee you trust.
Okay, all right. So in terms of options, are there typical types of trusts that are usually the most common?
In this day and age, we can pass $11,180,000 tax-free, each of us. Right, so a married couple, it's over $22 million.
Wow, okay.
So
got ways to go then.
Yeah, you and me both. So the simpler trusts, which is what I'm finding people like, is what's called a disclaimer trust, where if you don't have money that's anywhere near that exemption amount, the trust just continues on for the survivor's benefit. And so there's nothing to split, there's no separate tax returns, the trust just carries on for the benefit of the survivor. If you have blended families where you have children from different marriages and now you're married, people generally like to do what's called an AB trust, where it splits at the first death, so the decedent's share will get split in one trust, the survivor's share continues on, but the survivor cannot change the beneficiary of the decedent's trust.
Oh, okay.
So that way, if you're the first to die, you're assured that your assets should pass according to how the trust was written at the time you died.
I see. Which, these day and age, I'm sure you have a lot of those situations. Sure, that makes sense.
Sure.
So, in terms of a typical cost range, what is a typical cost range for an average?
It's hard to say. I mean, some people just charge by the hour. Some people charge flat fees, but you're probably looking at, for a married couple, a minimum of $2,000.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more than that, and then there's costs that get passed along, like the recording costs for the putting your real estate into trust. Generally, those types of costs get passed through over and above the flat fee.
Right. So is there kind of a threshold number that, in terms of asset level, before you'd say, okay, once they reach this point, they really should invest in having a trust put into play?
Well, if the purpose is to avoid probate, then anything over $150,000.
Okay.
If you're not that concerned about the probate and costs of probate, generally, I tell people if you have a house and you own a house, that's probably when you need to create a trust.
Okay, great. So if people have more questions about trusts and real estate planning, how's the best way to reach you?
They can call me on my direct line, which is 805-604-4112.
Awesome, great. Thanks for coming, Maria. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So thanks again for showing up for the market update. If you have more questions about buying or selling, give me a call, 805-339-3516. Thanks.